What's good, y'all? My name is Jason, and in this video I'm going to talk about 4 different things that you can do to help build your wealth even with a low income. And I'm also going to give you an update on my M1 finance portfolio. So yeah, let's get into it. Welcome to Ambition and Ownership. On this channel, I like to discuss stocks and also ownership and why it's important that we place a higher priority on us empowering ourselves so that we can create our own opportunities. If you're new here, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with me growing my investment portfolio. And don't just watch. Join me on this journey by using the links in the video description so that you can open up your own account. Because believe me, if I could do it, you can do it as well. So first, I think it's important that we go over what wealth building means and why it's necessary. So wealth is the accumulation or the abundance of your resources. You could think of it as all of your assets minus all of your debts. So wealth can be compared to your income in a sense that your income is the inflow of those resources, while wealth is your reserves or what's stocked up. And that's the key word, stocked up. You know, we could look at the company Target, for example, which, by the way, is a publicly traded company that you can invest in and own. But when you go to Target, you see all of the products on the shelf and stuff like that. But remember, there's a warehouse area in the back of the store where they keep an extra supply of all the products. So if you want to think about it like this, wealth building is the accumulation process of filling up our own family's back warehouse area. You know, and this is important because we can prepare the next generation by providing them with access to this back warehouse area. You know, I have a daughter and I have a son, so I have to think like this. And, you know, one day they'll be the ones who are in control of the family institution. And if you think about it, any institution that lacks resources lacks power. And that then makes it difficult to, you know, just get things done. All right, y'all. So step number 1 for building wealth is you got to first write down what wealth means to you. If you don't write it down, then you won't really have a sense of purpose of accomplishing these things. You know, growing up, my mom and my grandpa, you know, they always told me, like, you got to have a plan, you got to write it down. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized, you know, what writing things down can do for your mind. You know, if you have these ambitious dreams, but they're just like kind of like scattered thoughts, then they'll just remain dreams. You know, so when you write down what wealth means to you, you got to follow it up with, like, you know, new habits that will lead to achieving it. That way it's not just dreams, you know, it's like, no, I'm not dreaming, I'm taking like actionable steps towards executing my plans. All right, y'all, so step number 2 is you reassess your income source. Unless you come from wealth, obviously you're gonna need some kind of income in order to begin to build your wealth, whether that's from your job or the business that you own. So let's say you're at a job, right? Don't just work just to work. I think it's important to think outside the box and start to consider things like, you know, what are some of the advantages that the company you work for has over its competitors? And what are some things you can do in order to help strengthen those advantages? You can also consider things like, what are some possible obstacles that, you know, the company might have within the next 2, 3, or 5 years, and start to think about ways you can help the company, you know, maneuver around those obstacles. That way you can begin to leverage your value and possibly negotiate a higher salary once you're able to show proof of your increased value. Also, you can take a step back and pay attention to how the whole system operates. You can look at your position, you can look at your coworkers' position and what they do. You can figure out exactly how the company generates revenue, and you're doing all of these things so that you can basically figure out how to put similar systems in place for your own business. And that brings me to my next point. You know, it's important to have a business on the side to help supplement your primary income. You can take your skills from your job and use your skills to serve your own clients and customers and things like that. That way you're extracting as much as you can from the job that you're working. All right, y'all, so the third thing you can do to help build your wealth is save your money. So back to what I was saying about the accumulation process, obviously the more money you save, then it will begin to pile up. There are some things that you can do to help save your money even if you have a low income, like reducing the cost of living expenses and your car expenses as much as possible. All right, y'all, so for example, one thing I did to reduce my living expenses was when I was living in Moreno Valley, my wife and I, we decided to have my sister move in with us. So the thought process behind that was, you know, she could basically help us run the business, and also it'll help reduce the cost of rent. So that plan kind of fell apart because the owner of that home in Moreno Valley, he wanted to sell the home, so we had to move, and that's what, you know, led us here to, you know, moving into this place in LA. You know, and as far as a car goes, you know, I actually drive a 2003 Ford Windstar van. And you know, I actually bought that van from my neighbors in Moreno Valley, and you know, it's not the greatest looking van at all. You know, the acceleration is horrible, but you know, that's okay because it gets me from point A to point B. And it's you know, I'm more so concerned about, you know, my wealth building habits and allocating my money towards things I know I can get a return on. So one other thing you can do to help, you know, save money is don't buy things on an impulse. So if you feel like you want to buy something that you don't need, you know, maybe think about it, maybe sleep on it. And if you wake up the next day and you feel like, you know what, I want to buy this, that's fine. Go ahead, go for it. Just buy it, but just make sure you match that same energy with putting money in your investments accounts. All right, y'all. So the fourth way that you can help build your wealth is you invest in yourself. You should always be looking for ways to help improve yourself, and this doesn't always have to cost money. Earlier, when I mentioned you becoming a better asset to your company, is really about, you know, just being becoming a better asset to yourself. You can also watch my YouTube videos and just keep an open mind about the things that I have to say, and those things may help you as well. You can also, you know, there's so many online resources that you could take advantage of to help increase your knowledge, increase your skills. And, you know, if you do have some extra cash on the side, there's books that you could read like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Think and Grow Rich. And these types of resources can help you, you know, shift your habits. All right, y'all, so now that we're done with the 4 steps, I just wanted to take you inside of my M1 Finance portfolio really quick. As you can see, I did add $50, so now we're at $200 in this account. Remember, the goal is to reach $1,000 in this account. I haven't bought any stocks yet. All of this cash is just cash only. So yeah, if you guys want to open up your own account, then remember that you can use the links in the video description below to open up your M1 Finance portfolio, or a Robinhood account, or a Webull account. So if you're interested, go ahead, like I said, use the links in the description below. All right, y'all, so remember to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date. And remember, if you need t-shirts printed up for your brand or your business, you can hit me on Instagram at SAJ Screen Printing. Remember, we also do mugs now, so we can take your design or create a design for you and print them up onto mugs, and that could be a good gift idea for yourself or for a friend or for a family member and things like that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and peace.